Blessings and welcome to the Ascension Alchemist podcast. It is your hosts
Michael Abramson.
and HoniB here. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us here. This is the community where we get to align with Mighty God presence and embody that truth in our life and meet everyday life experience.
And today is a very special day because it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, honey. Happy Thanksgiving to all the viewers out there. And we're just so blessed to bring forth this day of gratitude that we feel so joyful in our hearts.
Happy Thanksgiving for everyone in the US and other countries that do celebrate as well. We just want to come on this and today to just bring a couple of things to your awareness as we get to share this with you. We're expecting our family coming over in just a little bit. I want to start with just this gratitude. This gratitude is really an incredible gift. Whatever you're doing today, wherever you are, the allowing of gratitude is really important. Sometimes we might be grateful in our thoughts, yet we're not experiencing the fullness of gratitude in our heart. And may today be a day where we can really allow it to land in our heart, because that's where God Almighty is. And He lands within, so that we can accept however the day unfolds. Especially when we're around family, all sorts of things certainly show up.
Those wonderful triggers, which, honey, I know are treasures, but boy, do they show up in this holiday time frame, don't they, honey?
They do, and they do because we're talking about Thanksgiving, right? There's all sorts of emotions comes with Thanksgiving. There's travel, people who are traveling. There are those who are, preparing everything. Like, I'm so grateful to you. You're with me, and there's a lot of labor. I prepared the whole thing, and I love it. I love it, love it. Yet there's a lot of labor.
You got your best assistant right
Yes, you're the
beside
best.
you. You're a rock.
You're amazing. You're amazing. And I'm aware with families, all sorts of things come up. And what we wanted to really share is maybe this would be for all of us to just take a moment of how blessed we are in this moment. If you're gathering with family, that we actually get to be blessed enough to gather with family. And however way the family is. I'm aware that sometimes when we get together with family, just a lot of old emotions come up. But maybe today, just maybe today, we can allow the old emotions to be on the side, so we can create space for this space of acceptance, non-judgment, and really let God in, God Almighty into our hearts, into our day. Let that be a different lens today.
I love what you said, because I feel today is a day where we can be a little more kinder, a little more generous, a little more loving, because that is our divine nature. And when we allow that divine nature to come through, it not only blesses us, but it blesses everything around us, because, like you said, family may be coming in within their own levels of challenges and struggles. Yet when we can bring that God Almighty within us and allow it to illuminate and radiate through us, then we know it's of greater purpose. And I appreciate you saying that, because I feel the holidays can be a very sensitive time for many that don't have families. And that's why I appreciate this beautiful podcast, honey, that for those that are listening to know that family extends more than just to intermediate, but to our friends, to our wonderful listeners, and to those that really connect to our heart. Because at the end of the day, when we can resonate that God Almighty truth within us, we get to share it as family and come back to what we know is our truth.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Michael, because for those of you who are on this call, on this podcast with us, you're our dear listeners, maybe this is a place where you can find refuge, knowing it is safe for you to be you. You're perfectly accepted exactly as you are. and there is a home here. And we also extend that invitation further to our private association, to the members that we have where we gather and there is a community. It is so important to have community, and not community because you want to feel right, because you just, well, there's one part of it. There's a community that you can just lean on. I feel that is super, super important. And as you're listening here today, maybe you can take a few of these with you, even if you're not gathering with family. That's okay. Maybe yourself, as you're sitting there, you can extend love to the family members, or maybe you can go and help somebody else out today. That will really uplift you. See if you can stretch yourself to allow more of God Almighty into your day, however way that is. Maybe you go out and be with animals today. That will be the day you'll spend, however it is, where your heart can be softer, gentler, lighter. And also give yourself permission today. You really don't know what's going on in another person's life. Like, for example, middle of the night, middle of the night, Michael was holding me. I was just crying a lot. I'm inside this menopause, mini pauses, and the hormones are all over the place, and there are these waves. I get waves of all kinds of emotions that come, and there's just a lot going through me, and my family doesn't really know what's going on. Yet, of course, I'm going to put my greatest, heartful, joyful presence as I show up for my family, because I love them so much. Yet on the inside, there's challenge going on. So what I'm saying is, you don't know what's going on with a person. You don't know. So may you have more grace today.
It's so true, because in this holiday time period, it is a sensitive time. And as I was telling Honi last night, imagine these sensitivities are washing away. Every time we get to be with our family, we never know what could be the next day. Is this our last holiday with them? So if we can show up in our greatest version, if we can meet these within, and at the same time just share that wonderful God, joy, happiness, and divine nature, because as Honi said, we never know what people are going through. And last night I was inspired to write a post just to thank my mother and all the mothers, including you, Honi, to really just take note of this day and the preparation that has been done for many holidays, and just the labor of love, and just the creation that's always been given. And sometimes us men, whether it's watching football or just in their own world, do not really take presence of like how hard the woman really works this day in preparation and all holidays. So I thanked my mom last night, because I felt like she really deserved it, because there were just so many Thanksgivings where I maybe wasn't conscious, and she was, moving around the house, yet it was like this comfort of like her joy, her happiness, from basting the turkey every hour to her, playing music and just feeling this cheer. And I feel that, when we can really take that time to be thankful for the mother, thankful for the creation, just thankful for the hands that place the food on this table, because a lot of times we take for granted the simple things in life. And I always felt like when I look back from my grandmothers to my mothers, that would just spend the whole day preparing, and how quickly sometimes my brother, my father, and I, we would eat, we go to the next thing, and we just have to settle and sit down in this moment to really represent what is important. And so today, in honoring you as my dear sacred beloved, and a mother that has two amazing children that did the annual fixings of the turkey last night, and just the ability to step back and really be grateful for every moment, because every moment we have that opportunity to show up in our great version. And when we do that, it's such a gift, not only to ourselves, but it's the gift we keep giving to everyone else that could use that, because times can be, a little intense, just to say the least, during this time period. So anytime we can just kind of cut the cord with intensity and just bring a smile, bring a laughter, bring an extra compliment by saying thank you. Yeah. I really appreciate you taking the time to prepare this. Thank you for, helping me clean up. Thank you for just showing up and just being here, because, the one thing I love about Honi is we really do appreciate family. And, there is this line, family comes first, yet I have to shift that God comes first. But I feel right after family comes first, or God comes first, ourselves come first. Family is in that trifecta of really honoring what has been seated in our choice of the soul mission. And no matter how many times we may look at our parents and be like, wow, how did I end up here? Or our family that just makes us, tense our shoulders. We know that these individuals have been placed within our life so that we can enjoy them in every holiday and every moment. And no, it's not just today, but it's our diligence and devotion and dedication to really just accept them for where they're at, because they may be going through things we don't even know. They may be having certain levels of consciousness that we're not aware of, and all we can do is just give more compassion, more love, and more kindness for today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those of you that are preparing today for your family, we want to acknowledge you.
Yeah.
We want to give so much gratitude for the gift that God Almighty has placed in you, that you are capable of providing such hosting. Thank you so much. In Farsi, we have a saying, خسته نباشی, which is like, hope your hands are not too tired, like you're not too exhausted from the labor you put in. And because God Almighty always sees your labor of love and always provides even greater. So we really want to acknowledge you, and just acknowledge you showing up in gratitude whenever you take this step to just be grateful. You are creating a ripple effect in you, in your family, and you create a container that others come into. And just maybe you have that yucky family member come with, yucky attitude. Maybe that's exactly what God had ordained, because you've created this container of beauty and wonder, and they're coming not from a good place, but that's exactly what they needed. So just remember how much strength God Almighty has placed in you and your capability, and also lean on the arm of God Almighty. It's so important. Like today myself, I asked God Almighty to lend its arm of strength greater in me today, so that I can lean on that more. And I feel very blessed as Michael is responding on behalf of that. And this is very, very important. So ask for help. Communicate. It's really, really important. Share. And there's some that may hear you, and there's some that may not hear you. God Almighty always hears you, and God Almighty does answer through people. So be open and receptive when you ask for help. It is answered in an unusual way through people, and you have to take then that step in accepting the help that you had asked for. So in so much gratitude, quickly, I'd like to just give acknowledgement to, of course, you, Michael, for being so amazing in my life, for everything that we share together. It's truly a living miracle that we get to experience this together.
Thank you, love.
And I'd like to thank all of our Ascension Alchemy members. Thank you so much for being in our life and everything that we get to share with you. Thank you, Facebook family, as well as Instagram family. You all are amazing. To just with all your shares, your heartfelt shares, and it's so beautiful to know there are all these different communities. And the other part that I want to also acknowledge is this podcast has brought me so much joy. Thank you so much for coming on here, listening. It's truly a wonder, and deepest gratitude. And thank you to our own immediate family and extended family and friends. We're so grateful to every single person in our life.
And I'd just like to thank God Almighty and the creation that has put all of us together to be blessed on this day, and to honor that this is not just one day, but a day that we can start in every morning feeling that gratefulness of our breath and our sight and our ears and everything that we're given to live this experience, because it really is a short experience, and before we know it, we're back up in the stars. So to really just hold each moment in its gratefulness and honoring you, my dear sacred love, and my just commitment to keep showing up each day, and our sacred listeners and our beautiful members of Ascension Alchemy, and really each and every person that we meet in life. I feel it's a blessing because we know that we're here to really assist and be the light that we are in our highest divinity. And when we get to meet you, and we get to hear you, and we get to share these experiences, it really fills our hearts. So once again, thank you for joining us on this beautiful day of gratitude, this Thanksgiving that we're just sacred and honored to be here right now.
And thank you for taking us on the long road wherever you're going. We are with you. Our heart is with you.
Yeah.
And so much love to you.
Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see some of you that are joining me on Saturday for the Woman of God Almighty event, which is 3 hours. The link is in the bio. So please do join if you want to experience these 3 particular frequencies to help you be much more aligned in your God Almighty presence. Have a beautiful day. Much love.
Blessings and love.
Bye-bye.